This can't be real, right? Like, this has to be pure rage bait that they're posting, because what do you mean? 2 adults, 5 children, 7 people living in one room, 1 bedroom in a motel. And you're not gonna go out and try to make some money? Gig work is slow, so get a real job. Like, what's the plan? I'm kind of bored with them at this point, because, like, what is the plan? There is no plan. They're just gonna do this forever. What interests me most is actually how boring they are and how bad at this they are. So they go in between 2 cycles, which is rage bait, which is what they're doing right now, and then oversharing, where they give out really weirdly personal details that, like, I mean, we're nosy and we love, but, like, weird. But their actual content, like the actual videos they film, are terrible. They're just not good.
Jenkins' world have officially taken a turn for the worse, and at this point, it's starting to feel less like a rough patch and more like a total collapse. In a move that left people genuinely stunned, Drew Jenkins recently hopped online and, without a shred of irony, announced that since his gig work has slowed down, he's planning to catch up on a few of his favorite things: cooking, cleaning, and gaming. Yes, gaming. Not job hunting, not supporting his family, not stepping into his role as a father. Just booting up the console like that's somehow going to put food on the table. What's wild is how casually he said it, like it was something to be proud of. No urgency, no concern, just a man prioritizing his joystick over his own kids. And honestly, it's hard to tell at this point, are Drew and Stephanie doing this for attention, for views, or have they truly lost all grip on reality? Because whatever the reason, their kids are the ones suffering, and that's what makes this whole thing so hard to watch. Let's break this down. Drew posted a TikTok that literally said, "Gig work has been slow, so I'm going to focus on things I enjoy: cooking, cleaning, gaming." Now pause. Cooking and cleaning? That's hilarious coming from someone whose living space looks like a disaster zone 24/7. Messy floors, trash everywhere, clothes piled in corners, and kids sleeping wherever there's space. The idea that Drew is suddenly all about tidying up is beyond laughable. The only thing he's ever shown real commitment to cleaning is his gaming controller.
This can't be real, right? Like, this has to be pure rage bait that they're posting, because what do you mean? 2 adults, 5 children, 7 people living in one room, 1 bedroom in a motel. And you're not gonna go out and try to make some money? Gig work is slow, so get a real job. Like, what's the plan? I'm kind of bored with them at this point, because, like, what is the plan? There is no plan. They're just gonna do this forever. What interests me most is actually how boring they are and how bad at this they are. So they go in between 2 cycles, which is rage bait, which is what they're doing right now, and then oversharing, where they give out really weirdly personal details that, like, I mean, we're nosy and we love, but, like, weird. But their actual content, like the actual videos they film, are terrible. They're just not good.
And it gets worse. This is the same Drew who recently bragged about how he makes more in 4 hours of DoorDash than most people make in a full day. He said he didn't see the point in working longer because his little hustle was enough for him. Fast forward to now, when that money stream has dried up, and instead of taking on more hours or finding a real job, he's back to video games like it's a valid fallback plan for someone with 5 kids and 0 stability. It's not just irresponsible, it's delusional. And here's what really got under people's skin: when Drew talked about the things that bring him joy, his kids didn't even come up. Not a mention. Not a word. No talk of spending time with them, playing with them, helping with homework, or even just being present. Nothing. How does a father of 5 list off his favorite things and leave his entire family off the list? As for Stephanie, it's hard to figure out what she's doing through all of this. She isn't exactly stepping in to redirect things or taking control of the mess. She's been posting less, saying even less, and letting Drew's behavior unfold publicly without much reaction. At times, it almost seems like she's emotionally clocked out or maybe just too deep into the content game to see what's really happening around her. And while Drew is off in his gaming bubble, pretending everything's fine, the kids are stuck in a situation that's anything but. It's hard to watch children growing up in a home where chaos is the norm and emotional neglect is brushed off like it's no big deal. And even harder when the people responsible for it seem more concerned about internet trends than their own family. What makes all this even more infuriating is that it's not new. This isn't some shocking, out-of-the-blue moment. It's part of a long, tired cycle that keeps repeating, and somehow, they both keep getting away with it. This has become the Res Ellian Jenkins signature move, an exhausting cycle of public breakdowns, sudden makeups, and carefully timed internet performances that repeat like clockwork. What once felt raw and real now feels rehearsed, like the same old storyline being rebooted for views. And people are starting to catch on. Even their longtime supporters are beginning to question what's actually going on behind the scenes. Think back to that unforgettable live where Stephanie completely unraveled. She was crying, shouting, saying she couldn't take it anymore. She said the constant chaos, the yelling, the emotional instability was damaging the kids and destroying her peace. For a brief moment, it felt like she finally saw the truth, that staying in this toxic dynamic was doing more harm than good. People were holding their breath, thinking this might be it, maybe she's finally walking away for the sake of her children. But then, just like that, the vibe shifted. Suddenly, all the chaos and pain from the night before disappeared. The new storyline? We're working on things for the kids.
The kids don't stress me out like that. And sometimes 10, any stressors I do get from the kids are because we are already fighting. And that's you.
Oh yeah, we definitely do fight. Y'all act like y'all act every relationship is perfect.
Relationships perfect? Whatever. No, I don't believe that. People don't fight.
I feel like we're far in between though.
We have a lot to work on. I've already mentioned we've never been on a date by ourselves. We've always had the babies with us. We don't get alone time.
Like food.
Yeah, we connect through our food.
Enter the usual routine, couples therapy lives, overly cheerful TikToks, and those painfully staged happy family moments. The tears vanished. The screaming? Forgotten. Instead, they were back to laughing, dancing, and pretending everything was fine, as if the emotional breakdown that had just played out publicly never even happened. And now here we are again, same playbook, different chapter. Drew's latest move? Announcing online that his gig work has slowed down and he's choosing to spend more time doing the things he enjoys, which, predictably, includes gaming, not getting a second job, not picking up extra hours, not focusing on how to support his family, just plugging in the console and acting like that's the logical next step for a man with 5 kids and 0 stability. It's frustrating, but more than that, it's infuriating. Because this isn't just a messy couple feeding the drama machine. This is a family, with real kids stuck in a lifestyle that offers them no structure, no stability, and no consistent care. And while Drew is out here talking about his joys, his own children didn't even make the list. No mention of being a present father. No thought to their daily needs, their routines, or their well-being. They were invisible, once again. And while all of this plays out for views, where are the kids? Still living out of motels. Still bouncing from place to place without a real home. Still missing out on basic childhood moments, birthday parties, family outings, even just a safe place to call their own. It's heartbreaking. Remember when it took them over a year just to buy a single toy gun? But when it comes to Drew's gaming accessories or car repairs to help him stream, that money shows up instantly.
Did y'all catch the Resilient Jenkins on live earlier today? Because why is Stephanie's baby girl in a full jumpsuit, like a full-on snow winter jumpsuit thingy, in the middle of summer? It is 100 degrees outside. Why is your baby in a long sleeve, full body jumpsuit? Walmart has literal outfits less than $10. You could literally get a top and some shorts, a couple pairs for like 20 bucks. Literally the button onesies, even the short sleeve button onesies are literally so cheap. There's no reason why your baby should be in a full-on jumpsuit in the middle of summer. Is this a joke? Like, is this literally a joke? Like, is this literally rage bait? I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments.
And the small details speak volumes. In a recent live, Stephanie held her baby girl in the middle of summer wearing a fleece winter jumpsuit. Not an isolated mistake, the child is often dressed in clothes that are either too big or way too tight. It's clear her comfort isn't the priority. Meanwhile, Drew's setup is pristine, perfect controller, gaming chair in excellent condition, headset fully functional. This isn't just messy parenting or a rough patch. It's a pattern of neglect masked as content. It's a performance where the audience is fed rage bait, sympathy pleas, and fake progress, all while the kids are left in the background, living the consequences. The worst part? They never asked for this life. Their children are trapped in an exhausting loop of instability, bouncing between cramped motel rooms while Stephanie and Drew chase clout, likes, and gaming highs. There's no structure, no educational materials, no age-appropriate activities, and barely any signs of actual parenting. These kids aren't living, they're surviving, and their childhood is being sold off, one TikTok at a time. The most heartbreaking part? These kids didn't ask for any of this. They've become background noise in their parents' ongoing scramble for attention and quick cash. And when Stephanie claims that her kids choose to be on camera, that they feel like little internet stars, it's not empowering. It's deflection. No child should be responsible for deciding whether or not their face is broadcast to thousands of strangers online. That's not giving them a voice, it's pushing adult responsibilities onto little shoulders. Even more alarming is her statement that the internet is a safe space for her children. This, after her own son's location was tracked down by strangers based on footage she posted. That's not just careless, it's terrifying. And to call it a safe? That's a dangerous level of denial. This isn't the kind of family content where you see sweet birthday surprises or zoo visits. This is the gritty, uncomfortable reality of minors being turned into content. They're filmed moving bags between motels, doing voiceovers, sitting in cluttered rooms that double as sets. Their real-life hardships are being chopped up, captioned, and posted for public consumption and profit. It gets worse. Stephanie went online and, without any medical confirmation or evaluation, publicly suggested her toddler might be autistic. Not to seek help. Not to raise awareness. But to boost engagement. It was presented as just another part of their content strategy. And that's not only irresponsible, it's exploitative. Let's call it what it is, these kids are being used. And the money? It's not going toward better living conditions, proper clothing, speech therapy, or even healthy meals. It's not being saved for their future. It's not making life safer or more stable for them. Instead, it's going toward Drew's ever-growing gaming setup, controllers, monitors, headsets. It's covering fast food, last-minute car repairs, and whatever Stephanie decides to haul next from the store. The essentials for the kids? Nowhere in sight. This isn't just a case of bad choices. It's a pattern of willful neglect. Every time they make a little money, it goes straight into their own comfort, while the kids continue to live in chaos. No toys. No security. No stability. No end in sight. And now Drew's back to gaming full-time because gig work is slow. Not once has he mentioned getting a job, taking on more responsibility, or even trying to improve their situation. Instead, he's checked out, again. Meanwhile, Stephanie's solution is to double down, more content, more exposure, more of the kids being used to keep their views and paychecks flowing. Let's not pretend the kids are benefiting. They're not being paid. They're not protected. They're being dragged along for the ride, and it's a ride no child should be on. Being homeless is traumatic enough. But when that trauma becomes your parents' paycheck, that's a level of damage no child should ever have to carry. So we're left asking, when does this stop? When do these children get a break? When do they get a real home, a routine, a future that doesn't involve being filmed for sympathy or used for engagement? Is this ignorance? A scheme? Or just straight-up exploitation? Whatever it is, one thing's clear, every time you think the Jenkins saga can't sink any lower, somehow, it does.